Alrighty, so in this video, I'm going to be explaining the final draft of your Fierce One project. So get a good drink, some snacks, and get ready to listen. So remember, we used this book, The Fierce 44, and this site, The Undefeated, for most of our research, along with Encyclopedia Britannica. So let me explain. First of all, there will be a title slide. And on the title slide, there's no creativity. You're going to choose either the original website, so I have that on the next slide, or you're going to choose this book cover. So I'm going to look at this one right now. What you'll do is there will be a text box. You put your number, your name and your number here, and very importantly up here, you're going to put the name of the Fierce One. Notice that's all caps. That's what you're going to do. Or you can use the original image capture from the website where this all started. And again, here's your name down there, and up at the top in all caps is the name of the Fierce One you're researching. All right. Here are some slideshow basics to think about. On the rest of your slides, you may have a customized background. You can find one way, though, to have visual clarity throughout all the slides. So either they all should have the same font or the same background, okay? Your font should be large and easy to read, which means not yellow or white, please, unless you have a black background. You'll be assessed on, this is very loosely, I'll give you a rubric on your information accuracy and that you have all the required elements. Okay. You'll also be assessed on your grammar and conventions. Even though we're writing bullets, you want to make sure that they're correctly constructed and that they have capitalization, okay? And then your slide organization. So do all the slides look neat and organized? You'll know it when you see it. Of course, you can ask me questions. So the required elements of this project have white backgrounds. In fact, you're just going to watch me make that an important point. They have white backgrounds. If you're interested in exceeding, there's a lilac slide at the end, and also I can meet with you, okay? All righty. So we start with our title. You customize that, and then let's get to it. First thing you're going to do is clearly state the central idea. Our big question is, why is this African American a fierce one, someone who shook up the world? And then in a text box, you're going to answer. I gave Fannie Lou. Fannie Lou Hamer is a fierce one, someone who shook up the world. And watch me do customization of my grammar because, and then you give the overarching reason. She was an inspirational civil rights leader who helped support for the Voting Rights Act. Okay, so you're going to, and then you will delete all of my directions, of course. All right, next slide. So this is where you're going to put in your facts. You're still using bullets, all righty, and you're going to use this slide and a couple more if you want to present facts about your fierce one. Please note they must be organized with subheadings. You can use more than one slide for presenting your information in bullets. And then if you'd like to add images, feel free to use the ones from the Undefeated website, the Fierce 44 book, Encyclopedia Britannica, along with, you can use images from Wikipedia, just no information. All right. So you'll have 1, 2, maybe even 3 facts slides. We definitely, since we're celebrating their accomplishments and the rounding out of our American history, you want to highlight their accomplishments. This is about celebrating accomplishments of great Americans. All right. Next slide, and maybe it's 2 or 3 slides later. This is where your primary source slide gets embedded, and we've gone over this quite a bit. But again, you're inserting a primary source, a video with a descriptive caption, okay? Again, this is not a link. If you were unable to get an a video in here, let's talk about that. Don't just blow it off. That is an element. All right. And then you have your insert a quote. I should make a note about this. For the most part, when you are putting together your slideshow, you're taking out the orange boxes and the yellow text boxes, and you're just inputting what's been directed to do, okay? So you're inserting a quote, and here are the directions. Along with the quote, add who said it and explain the quote and or explain its context, why it was said, about what it was said, all right? Then you have a timeline. Now, of course, you're not required to use this timeline. You can, I think I have, in fact, I know I have on the link there, other places you can go to get timelines. Remember, it's a year and a brief description of the event. A year and a brief description. See how short these are? That's what you want to do there. And again, it's fine if they're bullets, okay? If you only have 3 events, edit this, okay? And I've included, you're not going to keep this in there, but again, this is the directions on the timeline. And then finally, you're going to embed all your sources, all right? So you remember this is where we started. You're going to embed all the information you had here. I have some extra lines if you found for the site where you found your video. Just embed the link there. We'll pretend this is our bibliography. Very important, though, that you have your original information in here and add on any websites that you used for your videos. All right, and that is it. So we've compiled this together. You're probably not interested. This is the first time I've ever compiled a project in class, piece by piece. Normally in 6th grade, we just kind of get the directions and go for it. I know there's a number of you who know you want to do an exceeds. You can look this over, be listening for an office meeting with me where we can talk more about this and get more detail. But again, everybody needs to have this slideshow with all the elements in it. And if you have everything done exactly as directed, you will definitely get a met, okay? So that seems pretty achievable, and I'll give you due dates and rubrics at a later time. So this was a video on what needs to be in your Fierce One project.